feel like it's Toastmasters. It's like, okay, how many minutes are we gonna have? All right. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Tuesday. I don't know what day of the week it is.
Cinco de Mayo.
None of us. Cinco de Mayo. That's right. Happy Cinco de Mayo, whatever that is. So my name's Anna Cancevellos. I think I know half the people on this call, so it's good to meet everybody. And just thank you to Craig and Roxie and Robin for putting this together and allowing us to all meet one another, because I think it's just a great way to do that. And I don't know that we would have otherwise. As I keep saying, with this kind of quarantine and COVID crisis, it's come up with some things that I think, you know, we wouldn't have done otherwise. So that's good. It's made us connect on a different level, and I think on a deeper level. So I love that. So thank you guys for this. Let me get to my screen. So my name is Anna Cancevellos. Just call me Anna, or as the neighbors call me, as Mrs. K, because they can't say our last name. And I'm the owner of Elevate 122. I also own a pharmacy with my husband, which I'll tell you about a little bit. Signed on with Nexus because I love that it's all about impact. I think that's really an important part for business. So I just love that that's their why. So a few fun facts. And move my thing over. Okay, so we have a dog named Alexa, and we named her before the Alexa came out. So it was crazy in our house for a while with Alexa, and it was like, we thankfully unplugged all the Alexas and we no longer have them, but who would have thought of all the names? That's what we decided on. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but I wake up with a different song in my head every single morning, and I feel like I should write it down and like look for a pattern, but there's no pattern. A lot of K-Love songs, but other than that, sometimes it's just like a random 80s song. I'm first generation American. My parents are from Greece. And I have to say, I didn't appreciate it at the time. I was born here in Indy, but I didn't appreciate it at the time. Having that, we used to go to Greece every single summer, just kind of what we did. But it's really shaped a lot of my perspective. And I'm just really thankful to have that background and viewpoint of the world. So my morning routine is a little bit of God and a little bit of fun. So I need my coffee, I need my Bible app, and then I just need to play a couple games of Candy Crush. It's guilty pleasure. I'm not a housewives girl or any kind of Netflix thing, but love me some Candy Crush. Okay, a little more about me. You can see there's my family. Interesting journey I'll tell you about, but always had an interest in learning and helping people. That's just kind of foundational for me. And who is it's on here as Butler? I think it's Stephanie. Yeah. So I always wanted to go into medicine and be a pediatrician and help kids. I've always loved kids. Didn't want to live the doctor life, so became a PA. And then God had different plans for our lives. So practiced as a physician assistant. I was at Methodist for a number of years. And then we had 3 kids under the age of 3. So we stayed home, or I stayed home with them. And was grateful that I was able to do that. And then, so I've been married to my husband for 18 years. We've got 3 kids. And my husband came one day, he was working at Walgreens, and he's like, let's invent a product. And I'm like, sure, there's like, you know, babies and diapers. And again, like this, I don't know what day of the week it is, but let's do it. So we invented a product. And that was God's kind of walkway into our future. It's from that product we got to meet the owner of Nor Apothecary, which is a pharmacy, and my husband's a pharmacist. And he was ready to sell it after having it for 40 years and just having known us, buy this product, and he was just buying it and selling it to his patients. He said, I really think you're gonna continue the legacy, and I would love for you guys to purchase it. So that's how we came to own Nor Apothecary. So a little bit about that. We purchased it. It's been 5 years this month. And it's all about custom compounding. So we hand make every prescription. So the easiest way to explain that is, let's say it's hormone replacement therapy, and you're kind of, you don't want to take traditional hormone replacement therapy, or your levels are such that you need a very specific dose. We can do that. Or if there's an elderly patient who can no longer swallow pills, or maybe they've had a stroke, then we can turn their medication into a liquid, sometimes a cream. Pediatric medication, we can make it without kind of dyes and additives and preservatives. And then we kind of really focus also on supplements and vitamins without the fillers. You know where it comes from. They're third-party tested and those kinds of things. So with the business, it's from the product that we invented, we came to really know our strengths. You saw that we've been together almost 22 years, married 18, and you think you know somebody. And then we invent a product with 3 babies at home, and we really get tested. So we came to see our strengths in business, and he's very detail oriented, and I'm more of the big picture strategic thinker. So that works well now in the pharmacy. He's the pharmacist. He loves the day-to-day routine, and I love kind of the back end, bigger picture, finding opportunities and fixing problems as they come up. So that's our roles in that. So the business name, Elevate 122, I'll tell you another funny story, is rooted in Romans 12:2, which is, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I'll tell you, I'm not one of those people that knows the Bible inside and out. I can't memorize script very well or people very well. It's just not my strong point. As I said, I'm not a detail person necessarily. I love details, but can't remember them. But this one, just whenever I read it, it just really stood out to me. And so the interesting thing is, I'll tell you another quick funny story. My middle name is Aphrodite. I'm named after my 2 grandmothers. And so when I was a butler 20 years ago, whatever, I needed an email address, right? Everybody's using Hotmail. And so I put Aphrodite, and then my birthday is December 2nd. So Aphrodite_122@hotmail.com. And then I just knew my business name was going to have Romans 12:2 in it. And Elevate has to do with your mindset and just thinking not as what the world wants you to think, but what I think as God speaks to you and what he wants to tell you. So as I was writing out, I didn't realize until that time that it was my birthday, was December 2nd. So that was really neat. All right. So I'm a certified physician assistant, but then I became certified with the Maxwell Team to be a speaker, trainer, coach. Jack is on this call. He was my intro into the John Maxwell Team. And the reason why I chose them was because they're focused on the next generation. They're really focused on bringing these personal growth, leadership concepts to the next generation. It's like, why are we learning these things into our 30s and 40s and 50s? You know, we need to seed these concepts earlier in life. Like, everyone's wired differently, like playing into your strengths, leading yourself before you lead others. So they're really focused on that. And that's something I really loved about them. And John Maxwell, he's faith-based and started as a pastor in Indiana. So I call myself a growth catalyst. I really love thinking outside the box and help people be a catalyst for people in their lives. And I love learning. So thinking outside the box and helping people elevate their lives. My 3 biggest areas of focus are mindset, personal growth, and health. I think if you get those 3 things right, you can do wonderful things in life. Obviously, under each category, you know, like in health, you can talk about mental health, spiritual health, physical health, mindset, and personal growth. They each can have their own categories, but those are the 3 big buckets that I love focusing on. And I really have learned and have come to appreciate this idea that we get better by just becoming 1% better every day. It's just small, consistent steps. And I know life gets busy and we get distracted with the noise of the world, but I really love that you can just stay consistent and just take small steps every day. It doesn't have to be huge strides. And then that, like in finances, just compounds over time and leads to incredible results. So just start early, start small, and just be consistent. All right. A little bit about my why. So everyone says, why don't you go back to being a PA? I still have my license. It's, you know, nice, easy, cush job. I feel called to do something else. So it's really that, if I could boil it down, I want to help people every day in their lives and for a bigger purpose and reason than just a few appointments a year. So if I could boil it down, that's what it is. Plus, I'm not a really 9-to-5 person. I love, again, thinking outside the box and doing different things. I'm able to use my strengths, so more strategic thinking, innovation, creativity, and hopefully being able to scale to a place where I can really have a bigger impact and serve others. And then I love Nexus because it's all about impact. So 10% of time, treasure is all about giving to the next generation. And if I could do more, I'd love to do that as well. So if you saw Robin's email, I've pivoted a little bit. When I first started my business, not even a year ago, I was really focused on entrepreneurial parents and young adults. Entrepreneurial parents because I've seen, coming from the medical world to the business world, how many of these concepts we need to start teaching our kids early on. And especially if you own a business, I mean, if you want to have some personal growth, have some kids and have a business. I mean, you get to learn a lot about yourself. So, and there can be a little bit of feelings of guilt, and there are two different silos and a struggle. And there's really so much overlap that when you bring your kids on the journey, they can learn so much just about life and perseverance and believing in themselves and playing into their strengths and surrounding yourself with others with strengths that you don't have. And everyone has those for a different reason and different purpose, and that makes a great team. So, and then there was more one-on-one, and then also with young adults into their first decade of life. But what I really do love is kind of this environment of where everyone shares ideas and everyone comes together, because I think everyone's different perspectives and backgrounds is what helps everyone the most. It's not just one person. So the way that I can see this moving forward is, yes, still help individuals, because I love that, helping them just be consistent, get 1% better, because we all have distractions in life, and also organizations. I love the workshops and trainings on those three areas: mindset, personal growth, and health. Thinking outside the box. I love brainstorming. If anyone's stuck and you just need someone to just, have a different perspective on things, because sometimes when we're in it, we can't quite see clearly. I love doing that. Consistency coach. I don't know that I love the word accountability, but just helping you stay on track with things. And then mastermind groups, I think, are really powerful and great. Let me see if the chat. Oh, thanks, Craig. Time's going fast. All right, so that's it. What's coming up? I'm hosting a health workshop on June 17th, all about optimizing your health for the times that we're in right now. We're seeing a lot of people are being impacted because we just maybe have not made great decisions with our health. And DISC workshop, again, behavior communication, if not anyone's familiar with DISC. And I'm beta testing an idea about a daily text that people will get to help elevate their mindset. A podcast, hopefully coming soon, and then a monthly membership model. So that's it. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. There we go.
I'll throw the first one out. So you're talking about a podcast. What do you hope that will be, and what's the purpose of the podcast?
Yeah, good question. So it'll be rotating those three concepts. So mindset, personal growth, health. So, I think mindset is everything. It's what you think, you feel, you act on, and what you act on, those are the results that you're going to get. It's kind of, that flow that some of us have learned, but that's what it's all about. So, there's a phrase that I love. It says where your mind goes, your energy flows. So wherever your mind is where your energy is going to go into. So if you can get that right, so many things in life can be fixed. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard when we're just doing it on our own and we're thinking in our own head sometimes. So it's good to get a different perspective. And then that's my doggy. And then personal growth. I think we always need to be learning and growing. And health, like I said, can be broken down into different areas. So it'll put those three concepts rotating.
Hi, Anna. I have a question. I didn't follow it. Are you not focusing on youth at all? I'm just curious because I would imagine that there's a pretty high demand for teens in this area, and I have a couple of them. So just curious if you're thinking about that.
Yeah, it's not that
anymore.
I'm not focusing on them. I think that the niche has changed from people necessarily to the concepts. So it's more of those concepts of mindset, personal growth, health. So when I talk about like that membership, for example, I'm really thinking about creating something for teens and young adults, right? Or middle schoolers. But then there can be a separate one for, entrepreneurs or adults. So it's not necessarily that I'm not serving them. It's just that I'm changing the front page, if you will, to just be entrepreneurial parents and young adults. Like my website, for example, was entrepreneurial parents, young adults. Those were the two buckets. Now instead those are the three concepts, and then I can serve different people under those three concepts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah. No, I love it. I have a heart for kids. Actually, the reason why I didn't go into peds even when I was a PA. It was my first rotation was peds, and it was not in a great area. And my heart just broke for them. I mean, I was like, I can't do this, because you just see that they're so helpless, and sometimes they're just sick at the hands of the people who are caring for them. So no, I have a huge heart for the next generation, and I think it's our responsibility to help them with what we've learned and done in life.
Well, excellent. We're about at 16 minutes here, but if you could, I went ahead and put your website address, but if you could put your best email address, contact information there. If people have other questions, they can shoot it at you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Cool. Let's go ahead and do DJ and Aisha. If you guys are ready, I'll let you share the screen.